Okay, we're back with another sort of high-rated Edison today. Today we have Neymar Jr. on 852 going up against Cal 23 on 733. Now this is post-rating reset. At the time, I believe Neymar would have been in the top 100 with this rating, and Cal would have been just outside of the top 100. So both pretty high-rated players at the time of this recording. Opening hands, Raiko, TT, Book, Trapstun, and Goldsark. On this side they got Gear Frame, Cyber Dragon, Gauze, Magical Merchant, Machina Fortress, and Raiko. So this could be a couple of different things, but it yeah, I don't actually know what it is. It kind of looks like Light Sworn, maybe. And on this side, yeah, this is a bit weird. It looks like Monster Mash though, with the Magical Merchant, right? So maybe it's that. We'll find out. I mean, Cal23 has been on the channel many times before. They're always playing something fun, so they're going to set the merchant past your turn as Allure. Yeah, they're going to... Okay, so it's some kind of cat variant. So they're going to Gold Sark, the Summoner Monk. Yeah, they're going to set the Trapstun, set the Raiko, and pass draw for turn is an Eltonin. They're going to flip Magical Merchant now. Okay, yeah, get strapped in, everyone. Battle Vader, Chaos Sork, Plague Spreader, Coil Bolt, Dandelion, Fortress, Witch of the Black Rose, Quick Draw, Cyber Valley, Pot of Avarice. There we go. Okay, so it's Monster Mash, but they're playing the Avarice so they can make use of the Magical Merchant to dig the Avarice and also mill a bunch of cards. Very cool. Very cool. So 2 tokens from the Dandelion now. Yeah, normal summon the Gear Frame add Force, Pitch Force, summon up Fortress. Fortress going in now. So it's Raiko, going to pop the Gear Frame now, mills Airbellum, Hamster, and Oppression. I'm now quizzical why this wasn't Cat, if that's what you wanted, but okay. Pass, draw for turn is Sangan. They're going to Allure, draw into Greffa, and Neospatian Dark Panther. Yeah, this is a really cool card. If you've not seen this one in a while, or if you don't remember the anime, Dark level 3 Beast monster can be summoned off Rescue Cat, which I think is probably why it's here. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls until the end phase. This card's name becomes that monster's original name. Also replace this effect with that monster's original effect. So this can be really good with like Dad and stuff like that. It's a crazy card when it comes off properly. But yeah, let's see if it matters in this game. Neymar gonna shuffle up, gonna get rid of the Greffa. Yeah, Sangan gonna go after the Merchant now. That's successful. Main 2 pass. Draw for turn is an Eltonin. Yeah, they haven't milled a Cyber Dragon. They have milled a Valley though, so this is relevant, but you're not going to do it while you have your own monsters up, right? So Fortress going to get into the Sangan. Sangan going to go off. Let's see what it adds. Add is the Armor Knight. Okay, going to set the Raiko past. Draw for turn is the Avarice. They're going to get back the Summoner Monk now. So they can Summon a Monk. Yeah, pitch for the Rescue Cat. I'm so confused as to why they didn't just Gold Sark the Rescue Cat, so they don't have to now pitch a book. But I guess this gives double Airbellum and then Synchro plays. So, okay, yeah, I guess that is technically better. But yeah, if you go through an Airbellum in that time, maybe you're only playing 2. But okay, Avarice now. Gonna put back the Hamster, the Airbellum, the Sangan, the Raiko, and the Cat. Shuffle up, draws into Airbellum, Rescue Cat. Jeez. Okay. Going to Synchro here for a 5. That's going to make Catasta. Catasta can get over Fortress. And they're going to pass there. Draw for turn is a Gear Frame. They're going to flip the Raiko, go after the back row. It's Trapstun. So they're going to activate. Mills there. Gallus, nice. Debris and Hamster. Cyber Dragon coming out now. That can be used with the Catasta for a Fortress. And then they're going to pitch the Eltonin to summon out the Fortress. Fortress over the Monk. And Chimeratech into the life points. Pass. I mean, that was also wrong, right? You could have Chimeratech and then Machina Fortress in for a bit more damage. Maybe they're worried about Gauze. Okay. Have we seen Gauze? No. Okay. Draw for turn there was a Raiko, I think. Yeah, just going to set the Allure, and then they're going to Armageddonite. Armageddonite, dump the Gardener, and attack into one of the tokens. Pass, draw for turn is the Gallus now. Okay, they can Avarice themselves, so Chaos Orc, Witch, Gallus, Eltonin, and Machine of Force. Draws into a Force and a Hamster. Gear Frame is going to add Fortress. And then Plague, going to top deck, bring itself out. That's going to get met by the TT. Yeah, I was going to say, you were playing so hard into this TT. But, you know, fine. Fine. Gallus going to use this effect now. Mills the Hamster so it can special summon out. Then they're going to pitch the Force, summon out the Fortress. This is 800 from Gallus. And 25 going in from Fortress, which is going to get blocked by Necro. Nice. Okay. Draw for turn is Sangan. So, Rescue Cat coming out now. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think you have the targets for Rescue Cat, because I think you're only on 2 Air Bellum, based on how he played out the last turn. Or the last time they resolved Rescue Cat, sorry. So I think they're only on a limited number of beasts, and they've also got 2 in their hand, 3 in their hand, 3 targets in their hand, 2 in the grave. I don't think they have 2 targets in deck still. You can say misclick, but maybe just miscounted. Just going to set the Raikou now, pass. Draw for turn is the Caius. They're going to tribute the Caius for... Yeah, tribute for the Caius. Hit the Raikou, and that's just game. Okay. Neymar is going to get to go first in game number 2 now. So opening hands are Crow, Panther, Air Bellum, Solemn, Deck Devi, and Avarice. Not a great hand. The Air Bellum's not terrible, but drawing into like the Panther and stuff, you really want to use it off the cat. Heavy Storm, Machine of Fortress, Caius, Deep Prison, and Caius. Let's see how they start. So just going to start set Solemn, pass, draw for turn is a DD Crow. Going to set the Deep Prison on this side, pass, draw for turn was a Vayu. They're going to get in with the Air Bellum, that's going to get met with the Deep Prison, pass, draw for turn is the Fortress. They could use the Fortress with the Fortress now, yeah. This is nice. That can do 25. They can pass there. Draw for turn is Return. That could be good. They have got an Air Bellum out now, which could be a bit of a surprise. Set the Vayu, set the Return, and pass. Draw for turn is an Eltonin now. Fortress going to get in. Pass. Draw for turn is a Dust Shoot. Yeah. Sets the Dust Shoot. We're going to fire this off now. Yeah. Probably take a Caius, right? Yeah, they're going to crow the Vayu now. Okay, take the Eltonin. Yeah, that does work. I guess you can't hit both the Caiuses, but the Eltonin's not live right now, so I would have probably taken a Caius out. Fortress coming in now. Yeah, that's 25. They're going to set the Mirror Force and pass. Draw for turn is the Plague. They know about the back row, so doing a big think here. They're going to set the Deck Devi. They're going to return the 2 monsters. 2 monsters? 1 monster? 2 monsters. Yeah. Summon out the Panther now. Yes, this is a level 6. This is good. This is Brio. Brio can pitch to bounce the Vayu back, and then can pitch the Vayu to bounce the back row. Okay, the back row. Yeah, does this put them up with pot? Nearly. They can crow and then pot. Mirror Force, Caius. Yeah, they know the hand. Plague gonna stack the pot, bring itself out, and then yeah, Brio gonna pitch to bounce back the Fortress. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Fortress won't be able to rip the hand if there is no hand. Gonna use those 2 for a Colossal. And Colossal gonna get in now. And this does mean their draw next turn is a live Avarice, which is pretty good. So Colossal can get in now. Pass. Draw for turn is a D Prison. Yeah, they know about the Mirror Force. They don't know about that D Prison, but they do have a Deck Devi to kind of play a little bit into this. If their Colossal Fighter does get hit with something on Attack Declaration. So gonna Avarice now, put back. Yeah, all 5. It was all 5, wasn't it? Yeah, all 5 because the Plague was banished. Shuffle up, draws Air Bellum, Oppression. Jeez. Oof. Yeah. I mean, if I'm Neymar Jr., I'm tempted to bring out that Air Bellum even though I know it's probably not going to do anything. Obviously, we know there's a Mirror Force down. We also know there's a Deep Prison. Sets the Oppression now, pass. I mean, leaving the Colossal Fire in defense doesn't feel terrible, though. Oh, no. Oh, no. Cow accidentally summoned an attack. Okay, they do set the Raikou eventually. But they have revealed that it's probably a Raikou. Okay, draw for turn is Dad. Pass. Draw for turn is MST. They're going to deck Devi now. Yeah, deck Devi can get rid of that Raikou. Stop it from milling. They've checked the hand now, so they know the hand, and they know this is Mirror Force still. So they have full knowledge of everything that Cow has. They're just going to set the Monk, pass. Draw for turn is a Hamster, which is going to go. Draw for turn is a Gardener. They're going to set and pass. Draw for turn is an Eltonum, which is going to go as well, because monsters with question mark attacks in Edison are considered 0. So, very cool. Raikou's a draw for turn there. My deck is trolling me. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're doing too bad. You're pretty low on life, but you're doing okay. You just need a spell for this Monk, really. And actually, you might also not have the beasts enough for the rescue cat. MST going to take care of the Oppression. They're going to summon the Cyber Dragon now. Sort that out for a Kais. Banish the Monk. Yep, and get in to the Gardener now. Draw for turn is a Soul Release. Oof. Yeah, they're going to flip the Raikou, destroy the Kais now. Mills, Vayu, Panther, and Cyber Dragon. That is 3 dark. Oh no, that's 4 darks. That's too many darks. I mean, they could Necro Gardener to, you know, change that. Or they can just Soul Release one of them. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they're going to Soul Release their own Panther. Drop the Dad now. This is a Mirror Force that they know about, so they can just clear this up. And they can get him for 2 and get him for 28 now. This is nice. They have to top deck out of this. Pass. Draw for turn into Raigeki Break. Raigeki Break's not bad. That will take care of one of the threats, but the Kaiku is pretty devastating after this. So they're going to banish the Vayu, hit the Raigeki Break. Raigeki Break's going to take out the Dad by pitching the Fortress. Now they can Kaiku. This is 200, this is 18, and 2 banishes. Yeah, Kaiku going to go off now. Banish the Fortress and the Caius. Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's right. And pass. Draw for turn is a Raikou. So they're going to set. Pass. Draw for turn is an Oppression. Yeah, Kaiku going to get in now. Yeah, that's a really good play there. So Kaiku goes for the attack. The opponent's only at 200. They have to now use the Raikou on the Raikou. It feels awful. Mills, Sork, Hamster, and Gear Frame. Nothing good there. And actually, the Sork draw potential would have been terrible anyway. Oh no, it would have been pretty good actually because of the Raikou. So yeah, they would have had a light in the dark. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, if the Raikou could have been destroyed and they still survived, they would have been pretty happy with that pickup. Instead, it's Raigeki Break, which they can set. They can try and survive here. Yeah, they pitch the Caius. Yeah, put you on top deck mode. It's a Crow. Set the Crow. It's a Torrential. Yeah, everyone getting Torrentials now. Armageddon Knight coming out now. Thinking on what to dump. Dumps the Crow. I'm assuming they just don't have any targets. Right, they've used Plague quite early. They're on a Vayu package, but maybe they just don't have that many of it. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what the Vayu's for in that case. Draw for turn is a Gear Frame. Gear Frame coming out now, and that's going to get him out with TT. Yeah, but it is going to add a Fortress. Pass. Draw for turn is Bottomless. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't have Fortress in grave actually, so that TT is good. Bottomless pick up for turn now. Set that. Pass. Draw for Bottomless as well. Set. Pass. That's twice they've done that. Chain Disappearance to draw for turn here. So this is a standard trap card. When a monster with 1,000 or less attack is summoned, banish that monster with 1,000 or less attack. Then your opponent banishes all cards with the same name from their hand or deck. Very cool. Very cool. I wonder what this was actually for, though. Draw for turn is a Bottomless. Pass. Draw for turn is a Raikou. Raikou going to attempt to get into the game, but they are going to have to torrential the normal summon of a Raikou. Draw turn is Avarice. Avarice targets. Neymar Jr. says, I wish I could top deck like that. Yeah, me too. But all those going back now. Draws a Raikou and an Elton in. Yep, okay, they can pitch the Elton in for the Fortress now. That's going to get met with the Bottomless. They're going to set the Raikou, set their own Bottomless. So these are two Bottomless. This is a Chain Disappearance and an Impression. Draws into a Bottomless though. Sets that pass. Draw for turn is a Solemn. They're going to go after the back row. They do hit the Oppression, Mills, Chaos Sork, Battle Fader, Gear Frame. Going to get him for 200 now. Sets the Solemn pass. Draw for turn is a Rescue Cat. Yeah, I mean, you're immediately Solemn in that, right? Immediately. And they've got no life to use the Brink on, so this one just feels over, right? Okay, just gonna go set. Yeah, I guess they're really just... I mean, the Hamster is good, and you can't do lethal without just normal summoning it, which would feel terrible. Yeah, and it would have played right into the Chain Disappearance. Draws another Chain Disappearance. Pass. Draw for turn is a Force. Okay, they're going to flip the Super Nimble Mega Hamster. Not going to go off because I'm assuming it doesn't have any targets. Yeah, I'm assuming it doesn't have any targets. Yeah, you got two Raikous. One engraved, one banished. Draw for turn is Sirocco. That's going to get met with Bottomless. Yeah. GG's, cool, very cool. Okay, so this deck's weird, right? So we saw it was Monster Mash. It was definitely Monster Mash game one, but they seem to side into like Machina Control-ish. I mean, we saw two Raigeki breaks. We saw Solemn. We saw two Bottomlesses. We saw a D-Prison. We saw like a lot of spells and traps. So the whole side deck must just be conversion stuff. I'm assuming I think the Machina stuff is in there as standard in Monster Mash, but it seems like they side out of all the Witch stuff, all the Gallus stuff, all the Merchant stuff, and they side into like a standard kind of Machina Control build. Really interesting smokescreen side. Cal 23 is always doing some fun stuff, so always good to watch them play. I will agree with Neymar here. They were very lucky on some of those top decks that just kept them alive while they were able to whittle down their opponent's life points. This cat deck, very cool. Interesting that we saw Panther. Interesting that we saw, you know, some different plays than what, you know, we would typically expect to see. Still want to know what the value does if the Armonite didn't dump this Sirocco. I feel like that might have been a misplay there. They Armonite dumped a Crow. They could have dumped a Sirocco just to maybe make this live if they play like Burial or something. But yeah, not something we saw. Really cool deck though, and both these duelists pretty high rated. I think we've seen both before. But we've definitely seen Cal 23 before, and yeah, just a really cool matchup. I would love to see what this deck looks like. I'll try and get more replays from Cal and just see exactly how the Monster Mash like stuff goes into it, because maybe the idea is you tell your opponent you're a Monster Mash, they're going to side out all their heavies, they're going to side out all their all their back row removal, their dust tornadoes aren't going to come in, all that kind of stuff, and then actually you're just setting yourself up to play a Machina deck with no fear of your back row being hit, which is probably why they're able to play into more like high commitment back row like Raigeki Break. So really cool either way though, and good to see both these duelists again.